When we were children, it is very common to have a run-in with a bully. They find joy in embarrassing you, or they steal things from you, like your lunch money, under threat of physical harm. In many cases, they have lackeys who stand by and support them, as long as they seem stronger than you. They sometimes egg the bully on and even join in on the violence when things inevitably go too far. As an individual, it can be very difficult to stand up for yourself. Having allies to help you can level the playing field. With enough allies, the bully might lose interest and back off. Yeah. And by losing their interest, I mean they lose their sense of dominance. In a bully's mind, there is no reason to attack if they don't think they will win. On February 24th, 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine. 3 years ago, at the time I'm filming this video. But this military action was not the first time Russia played the role of the schoolyard bully against Ukraine. On February 20th, 2014, Crimea was occupied and annexed by Russia from Ukraine. Russia is also supported by pro-Russian separatists. And this was in the Donbass war against the Ukrainian military. Russians used their navy and cyber warfare tactics over the course of the 8 years leading up to the 2022 invasion. An invasion where Vladimir Putin claimed Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky was, well, a word that has to be censored on YouTube, so let's go use neo-Nazi. Despite the fact that Zelensky is Jewish, as were his parents. Yes, Ukraine, like many other parts of Europe, and even the United States, has an issue with a modern form of neo-Nazis to contend with. So this was at best an incredibly weak excuse to escalate military actions. This has led to the largest conflict in Europe since World War II. This is like the bully stealing your bike one day and then spending the next few years escalating until they commit arson on your home while claiming that they had to do it because one of your parents is somehow a horrible person. Of course, this is just a lie, but there will be people who support it. President Joe Biden denounced the attack as unprovoked and unjustified, and in collaboration with European allies imposed harsh sanctions against key Kremlin officials, including Putin and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. Sanctions were also imposed on 4 of Russia's largest banks and the Russian oil and gas industry. On March 2nd, during an emergency session of the UN General Assembly, 141 of the 193 Union member states voted to condemn Russia's invasion and demanded an immediate withdrawal of Russian forces from Ukraine. Belarus, led by Putin's puppet state dictator president and autocrat Alexander Lukashenko, joined Russia's effort to invade Ukraine from an additional front to the north. This support included allowing Russia to amass troops and equipment along their Ukrainian border. They also attacked their own people who stood in solidarity with Ukraine, a move directly from Putin's playbook. In addition, in areas surrounding Kiev, civilians have reported alleged war crimes perpetrated by Russian forces. These accusations include summary executions, torture, and even rape. Essentially war crimes by individuals. Russia, using Cold War tactics, began to fail in their war efforts. They struggled to supply the military and eventually had to use antiquated equipment along with mostly untrained conscripted troops. Putin's strategy has since amounted to throwing a meat shield up and attacking civilian targets. The bully is running out of ideas. This brings us to something that occurred this week. President Zelensky was invited to the White House to speak with President Trump. Trump, fresh off a recent session with Putin's boots, took the opportunity to go completely off the rails. This comes after a so-called peace negotiation where Trump apparently decided the United States is owed mineral rights for the equipment supplied to Ukraine. This meeting was an ambush of a loyal ally in favor of an America First agreement to sell out Ukraine. Trump and Vance's attacks felt premeditated, like they knew going in that they had to support Putin. The lackeys are clearly getting bold. Trump, in another failed attempt to look like a strong leader, came off as a childish yet confused old man throwing a temper tantrum. After this meeting, Trump boarded a plane to go play golf. Zelensky returned to lead his people in a war zone with the knowledge that he may not have the support needed to save his country. Please like and subscribe for more content like this. Ring the bell for updates.